Iron Cross Man-to-Man Combat East Front 1941-42 Strategy and Tactics magazine game from 1990. This is, I still believe this is the most refined version of the system that was started in the boxed game Combat. Yeah. Okay, so what I've decided to do, I restarted the scenario. This is scenario 3, closing the ring. I restarted the scenario with trying something new. What I did is I pulled out some number information counters from other games. Of course, these are top-notch GMT game chits. GMT really does probably make, I think GMT, well, actually I won't name the other. GMT has top-notch chits. But anyways, so the brown one, so the number on the brown is going to be for movement. So moved, this is going to be a moved marker. And I think I'm only going to need 4 and 5, I think. So this is, if the phasing, if Brower here moves in the, if the Germans are the phasing player and Brower moves during the movement, no, it is 3, whoops. If Brower moves during the movement phase, which would be the phasing player phase, he'll be marked with a brown marker with the 3, which will be my reminder that this is a moved in the 3rd phase. What I was doing before is I was using a number marker plus a moved marker, which is just getting too much. So there's that. And then obviously if the non-phasing player moves in the reaction movement phase, they'll be marked with the brown 4. Again, brown for the ground, for movement, that'll be my reminder. Then, if Brower, in a different situation, let's say fires in the moving fire phase, then I will take this marker with the red for firing, and mark it 6 being the 6th phase of the sequence of play, which is the moving fire phase, and this will be my reminder that Brower in this case fired red number in the 6th phase. Remember that this is always for computing, well, if I remember correctly, and this is all the little nuances I'm continuing to try to get straight. This is for determining the sighting. Combat uses a different terminology for it, but basically it means when you're trying to do the modifiers for observation, which is incredibly important to this design, it's critical what a unit has done in the 3 previous phases, which means that you can go, so this is not simplified to what is a unit done in a turn, game turn, and not what is a unit done in a player turn. This is what is a unit done in the 3 previous phases. That's why this is important. So the fact that Brower fired in the 6th phase means that the modifier for him having fired that may come into play for the Soviet side, for the Russian side, will apply to the assault phase that comes after. That's one after. I think you skip the free up-down state change, and I think you skip the morale phase too. So then the second phase after would be phase number 2 of the next turn, of the next player turn. So that would be the support fire phase for the Russians, and then the movement phase for the Russians in their player turn. After that, then this would come off. Okay. It's one of those things that comes clearer in action. Now, what I want to do now, pick up, this is what I'm going to try. There's one other thing that may or may not matter. I don't know. I guess I could find a 3rd number chit marker designed for. Oh yeah, I was thinking that I could do this for moved and fired, but then I was thinking they would not. I don't think they would ever be the same phase. because I think the way the turn structure here is, I don't think a unit is ever moving and firing in the same phase. So you'd have different, yeah, you would have different designations. I still can't figure out if a unit really can pick up a moved and a fired marker. So you move during the movement phase to be marked with a 3. Okay, let's put Brower back. Maybe I'm overthinking this before just doing it, but if he moves during his movement phase, he gets the move 3, which again is my idea of a moved 3. Reaction movement, he's... Oh my. Oh no. No, he could fire in the very next phase. If the Russians are moving in their reaction movement phase, which is the 4th phase, Brower, I think, could, even though he's just moved, I think he can fire. That would be the 4th phase. So he would have a move 3 and a fire 4 marker. Let me make sure. Reaction movement phase, non-phasing player. The phasing player may attempt opportunity fire. Yeah. I think that's it. Alright, so I think, well, thinking abstractly here, I think you can pick up those two, so you would have to have two separate, alright, two separate number markers. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to do this for, it's actually not the first, I shouldn't say the first. I want to do this straight up fire combat, except that it is a medium machine gun. So let's see how quickly I can get right through this. It is a medium machine gun. Now the first thing is, this is the fire, the whatever you call it, the fire zone, you know, the fire arc. We know what this all is. You take the front, the hex immediately to the front and then go off in the angle, right? So he wants to try to observe and fire. Well, he wants to, no, I keep thinking about this. I think you have to declare your attack, and then if you don't observe, you have to fire as unobserved fire. And this is important because, of course, some ammunition is tracked. Okay, so medium machine gun firing at the units here. Now, these 3 Russian soldiers are in a multi-hex building right there. All right, so the first thing, all right, so announce attack. This is the support fire phase, by the way. Does that matter? I'm not sure, but it is. Announce attack. There we go. Determine loss. I already did this. His sight goes right by the artwork of the building right there in 4105 right here. It goes right by it though. So you go with artwork for the building and it does not hit. So he has line of sight. Then now we attempt observation. I'm going to roll and then do the calculations because I think I want low anyway. So, oh, well, actually it gets a 5. So now let's figure out if that, I will pick up in the next video if I have to. All right, all right, here's 5, the roll. For every 5 hexes beyond, it's 10, so it's +1 for that reason. So it's every 5 hexes beyond the first 5, so it's +1. There's no improved position here. There's no tree symbol. Actually, there's nothing along the line of sight at all. Alright, there's no AFEs, RECs, anything like that. No marsh hexes. Target is a non-AFE and a down... Here we go, target. Am I actually trying to sight one of the soldiers? It's a hex, though. I don't know how to... If the target is a non... Well, it applies anyways because they're all soldiers and they're all in down state. Alright, that's another +1. Alright, so modifiers favoring the observer. I don't think we have any of these. Target hex successfully observed. Move within the last few phases. Still looking for modifiers.